Cause Nation, Sanbunan Bafeti, welcome back to What Trends with me, OQP. On today's video, I'm better than share the latest news. As I've said or reported earlier, is all OT. I feel like this is going to be good news for Umfana Utolane Tash Mabasa. And today, we do have the list of the traveling squad that is going to Zambia. I believe it's Zambia, Kwacha, where obviously we will be playing Izesco United. Now, I've been looking at the history of Izesco United, and it looks like we have not been fortunate when it comes to this team because yes, Shaya, yes, Tabula, Ayuklala. So now we do have the squad for a Group A2 who will be traveling to play against this team that is called Zesco. And there's some interesting things that we're going to talk about on today's video. We have a Brendan Peterson, number one goalkeeper. We have a Bruce Vuma, and then we have Utakalane Mazamba, which means Takalane Mazamba has leapfrogged Ubontle Malifa and jumped into the squad. I've not seen Ubontle Malifa representing us on the CAF Confederations Cup. So having Utakalane Mazamba there, it shows you that there's something that they're trying to achieve, and also it means Bontle Molefe chances of him being the next big thing at Nashorena. According to what we see currently, it looks like he might not get that opportunity. But one thing I do know is the fact that we tend to overlook the youngsters and say those guys are not going to give us anything, and then later on might figure a different coach who feels like, okay, we definitely need to give this young boy a chance. He becomes something that we feel like, wow, we have been looking for this. Sonkeleskati, where was this person hiding? It's not them, it's the fact that probably the coaches or the team, the technical team, is thinking maybe this guy is not yet good enough. And I don't know, guys, I feel like ever since Akalile, he should have gotten, some opportunities to get. You look at your Orlando Pirates, they do have their youngsters who have managed to get the senior team, and then also Mamelodi Sundowns, same thing. But with us, I don't know why we are not giving Ubontle Molefe a chance to prove himself. It looks like kunenkinga nje ekhona, but maybe it's just them feeling it, he's not yet ready. And then also we move on. We have Utabiso Moyane, we have Dylan Solomons, we do have Aiden McCarthy, and then we have Upaseka Marco. Given Msimango is also there in that list. We do have Zita Pinika, Inaso Miguel is also there. We do have Tulani Touch Babaso, guys. When I say something and people think I could be young, it is happening. Tulani Touch Mabaso is traveling with the rest of the squad. Is going to Zambia to play. This is interesting. And then also we have Special Ndlovu, we have Uliwang Maboya, we have Mshini Ngobo is also there. Tutuzi Shabalala, another young great player is also there. Fundo Vilagazi, and then we have Opule Modi, we have Asanele Velebai, we have Maccabi Lilepo. Look, Batman, guys, I remember when I was speaking with Cameroon, he said, oh look, Batman might not make it at Kaizer Chiefs, and I said to him, despite us signing a lot of those players, about Egodaro, Flavio da Silva, having about Ashley Dupreez, Teshuk Morris, all of those other older players, it doesn't mean Utumfana will not be able to get a call-up. For me, I've always said Utumfana is a great player. I just wish we can give him the benefit of the doubt and then Simnigi little tuba so that he can shine and prove himself. And so far, Umfana has been proving himself. I remember when he went to FIFA, where they played on the FIFA World Cup. It was not good for him because I feel like he was a bit rusty, and we did even talk about it. No, man, there are certain things that he's not doing accordingly, but look at him now. He shows a lot of hunger, he shows a lot of dedication, and he's proving why Kaizer Chiefs wanted to sign this boy, even though Samtola as a free agent, as the same as Uvelebai. And then also we have Okanye Samayo, and last but not least we do have Flavio da Silva. Now there are two players which are not there. Etiosa Igodaro is not there, and also Ocaston Sereno is not there. So clearly there is something that is showing in terms of Ocaston Sereno. Mfethu, you are getting old and we might no longer need your services, which I feel like contract yakhe mayiphela this time around, it's gonna be ending for good, with how things are looking. Because this is an important game. To be honest with you, this is an important game. Each and every game that we're going to play on the CAF Confederation is very important so that we can be able to advance through. But if you leave players like Augustin Sereno, who Mashuti needed to show a bit more of consistency and also a bit more of a character, but they prefer to bring in young players. This shows that if something happens to Abdudoze Shabalala, we will not opt for Gaston Sereno. Instead, Mfundo Vilagazi will be there playing that position. Ulilepo naye is a bit rusty. Also, he has not been having good games. Tim Masia Masvali League in a corner, the first half of the league, Jean Basso Champela to the second half of the league. Still, he was not showing any signs of, good, proper football. But now I hope Uti he can just try and adjust himself and get back to the Flavio da Silva, not Flavio da Silva, the Lilepo Maccabi Lilepo that we know. Because when we signed him last year, January, guys, he was world class. He was on top of his game. He was doing everything that you could expect from a winger. But these days, man, I don't know. It feels like he has dropped momentum and he's not been doing the same as he did before. But a corner, I do understand, because remember, he was a player that was initially wanted by Coach Nazuddin Nabi. So him coming to Kaizer Chiefs, and then the coach that wanted him so bad, who believed in him, who showed a lot of character to him, ahambe. That is a problem, because I did even hear Wuti Inaso Miguel was deeply affected a lot with the situation of Coach Nabi leaving the team. So with a player like Umakabi Lilepo, I'm hoping he will get back on his feet. Inaso Miguel has been showing signs of improvement. People, I know, we're still gonna look at him in a bad way and say he's a bad player. He's not a bad player. I remember when we signed him, he was doing incredibly well. And even now, I'm hoping he can get back and continue showing the good example that he's been showing to especially the youngsters. Because I feel like a lot of our youngsters turned the curve when he was introduced. Aiden McCarthy was never this player that he is today. To be honest with you, he used to play. I was like, okay, Aiden McCarthy Yambon, I like this guy. He has a lot of potential. But then there are certain things that he do. He's slow. He's not too sure about some decision making. Okay, isn't this for analyzer? But now you can see Umfana is getting there step by step. We have Vutra, and so far people are impressed. Now, for me, I feel like give him 1 year. Give him just 1 year playing consistently. He will tell me something different about Aiden McCarthy, because I do believe there's a lot of potential and a lot of great talent coming out from this youngster. So even those young players who have managed to make it, like Omazamba, Tulane Mabasa, which by the way, I'm happy. And then also we do have those other youngsters, Mfundo, Luke Batman. Those players, those players have a lot of potential, guys. And trust me when I say, even though people might say, okay, but QP, we can't give too much pressure to these youngsters because I feel like you need to understand something. Yes, there will be certain moments where the pressure is over Trilaza and they will feel like, okay, definitely this is not what they signed up for. But also, it is the only thing that is going to help them have and build that character that is needed for certain other games. Because when you have that character and that build, you are not afraid of anything. Look at Wandile Duba, guys. That player is incredible. Yes, so far has not been met with great standards because we have not been compensating him when it comes to our games and stuff like that. But to be honest with you guys, Wandile Duba is an incredible player, and I do wish we can get to see him back in action, very, very soon. Obviously, he's not in the list of the players who are traveling to Ilona, and I haven't seen much of him. I don't know why. I haven't seen much of him, even with training. I'm not too sure if I did spot him, but I do know for a fact that he's not injured. Maybe they're just trying to at least find a system that is going to work with those players, and then maybe then they can try to introduce him back. But so far, I do feel like there are players that we might get to see leave. It's either on a loan or something else. Players like Ashley Dupreez, Teshik Morris, and who else? I forgot who else, but those players, they might leave. Obviously, George Matlow is still injured. Usibongisele Mthetho injured, but naye he's another player whose contract is coming to an end very, very soon. So Angas, I don't know. We will see as time goes on. I believe this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm happy to see the squad traveling to Ilona, being this squad. I'm very happy. I just wish Utabachita they can try and prove a point, because we have not won against Zesco before. We played against them in 2019. We lost a 5-2 aggregate, and now again we lost 3-1 on the game that we played against them. So now it's time for us to try and turn the tables, because we will need a lot more. At least it's not an aggregate this time, it's all about the points, but we need to make sure that we try by all means we have a huge impact, at least collect maximum points. If we can collect maximum points now, and then next week or next month we collect another maximum point, then definitely we might be sitting good on the log. But I don't know. You let me know what you think down in the comment section below. But if this is, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to later on with something new. Peace.